Hello. I think that worked. Hi, how's it going, every sluggy? My name is Trip Starlake, and I'm like here right now. It's like weird. Like, look, there's four hands. Hi, how's it going? It's been a while. Sorry about that. So this is Ever After. I don't know. Here you go. So this is Ever After by F.T Lukens. This was the latest book that I pulled in my TBR jar, my to be read jar, and with a twist because I have like half of the suggestions are from sluglings like you, and the other half are from my actual physical to be read shelf that I want to read this year. I say need, but like I need to, and I kind of need to because I'm limiting purchasing books to myself. Well, I've promised myself that I won't buy very many books until I read all of the ones that are on the shelf. So anyway, getting started. So I read F.T Lukens. So this is Ever After by F.T Lukens. So I read what am I saying? Anyway, let me talk about this book. To sum it up simply, do you remember that show Merlin? This book felt like I was reading an AU where the author wasn't afraid to make it gay. The Merlin show on the BBC. The story starts at the end of a story that you've probably have heard of before. A band of adventurers go on a quest to defeat the evil king of the land, as was foretold by a prophecy from a mysterious wizard, and then the adventurers succeed. Hooray! And then peace is restored to the kingdom. However, now the group isn't sure what to do next. Eric, the chosen one, the prophecy receiver, reluctantly agrees to temporarily rule the kingdom until they can find their next true heir. But, well, it turns out she's dead. So now Eric is stuck as the new king and has a pretty serious problem. He needs to choose a spouse by his 18th birthday or he will wither away into nothing. And that's like 3 months away. So, even though Eric is completely in love with his best friend and new head mage of the kingdom, Matt, this is Eric, this is Matt. Eric is like completely convinced that Matt doesn't feel the same, so Eric sets out on a plan to see if he can woo his fellow adventuring party instead. And this is his fellow adventuring party. They're actually on the book cover, which is neat. They're all big personalities. Yeah. So that's the book. So this is actually the fourth F.T. Lukens book that I've ever read. So you might say that I'm a fan. I say ever read. Like that means anything at this case. This book in particularly took me a bit more time to get into than the other books by this author. Like, there wasn't anything wrong with this story. I just personally wasn't as hooked as I had been in Lukens' other books. I think it may be because this story includes something I usually hate, which is a communication problem that becomes the entire plot of the story. But if these two people just talked for like 2 minutes, the story would be 20 pages long. And yeah, it does bother me, but ultimately this book is very cute. It hits all the right marks on being a fun LGBT positive story for teens. And I wish the relationship had a few more like, oops, we're flirting, oops, we might be in love, oops. But, you know, it's fine, it's cute. It's for teenagers, like, coming into their own. Like, I think it does a really good job at being, like, a friendly book to read if you're, like, a young kid, a young queer kid, basically. So, yeah, I think Lukens has better books, but this one is good. I just like these ones better. Or, I don't know. I'm going to talk about them in a second. But first, I would recommend, so this is Ever After, if you were a big fan of the show Merlin, like I just said, and you are mad that it wasn't gay enough. So if you want to read a world where no one judges you for whatever gender you're attracted to, but make it fantasy, like this book is a pretty decent example, like a representation of that. I don't recommend this book to you if you are bothered by the communication issue like I just talked about, or you don't like reading fantasy that is more focused on like the relationships rather than the world building or magic system. It's a pretty light magic system. It just works as is needed for the plot. But so this book is kind of like cozy fantasy, but there is plot. Stuff happens. So I'm going to talk about these other books briefly because I actually really like F.T. Lukens as an author. I think they're just so good. They're so good at bringing in just positive teen representation of like be whoever you want to be and you'll be accepted for who you are type of books. So this is Ever After is like their second published book. I haven't read In Deeper Waters. I think I have a picture of it though in here. Let's see. No, there's no pictures. Oh no, it's right here. In Deeper Waters, like I haven't read this one yet. I'll read it someday. I don't own it by F.T. Lukens, but this one, Spellbound, is my first book that I read. So this is an enemies to lovers book about this guy. What is his name? Edison Rooker? Rooker, they call him Rooker. Or Rook, I think it's Rook that they call him. And Sun is the rival because they go by like nicknames. Yeah. It's enemies to rivals. They work for like they're magical apprentices to witches. But except this guy doesn't have any magical powers. He's not technically, if you aren't a witch, you're not allowed to be in the witch community. But his grandma was a witch, and after she passed away, he didn't have any family really, and so he was trying to do anything he could to get back to the magic and feel like he had a family again. So it's kind of about finding a found family, and it's also about these two really connecting to each other and growing with each other. It's a really silly story, but I really liked it. And then this one is, oh god, this one is really shiny. This book is called Otherworldly. It's like this person, I don't remember the names of these characters. Ellery and Knox. Okay, so Ellery is a jaded person, and Knox is literally magic. They're like, magic doesn't exist, but he's like literally magic. So that's the dynamic between the two. They live in a world, like they live in a city specifically that has been cursed to be snow forever, so winter forever, and things just keep getting worse and worse. And Ellery has moved into a more like the city, I guess, to try to like support their family. I think they're non-binary. I think they're non-binary. This one, he's not non-binary. They are. I don't know. And they run into Knox and they protect them, who Knox is trying to get being like kidnapped back to wherever he's supposed to be, but he's escaped his magical chains, and the two have to work together to end winter. But I like it. It's not as good as Spellbound, but it's still cute. And then this one just came out. I have been so excited to talk about Love at Second Sight. I love this book. Love at Second Sight is the most like teenagery of all of the books that I've read by F.T. Lukens, because these kids are literally in high school. And so, what are your names again? Cam's the only one that really matters. Okay, so this is Cam. His name is Mateo. I think it's Mateo. They're just friends. They don't. It's just like friends to lovers type of situation. But Cam and Mateo, they live in this world where it's like a paranormal world where there's like elementals and fairies and vampires and werewolves and what have you. But Cam is human as far as he knows, and his parents are super anti, like they're very racist against like any other race. And he started school at a new building that is like fully integrated with all of the communities. So like all the witches, the werewolves, the vampires. I don't think there's vampires. The fairies and the elementals. I think the vampires are just like, we don't associate with people or whatever. But anyway, they're all going to one school, and Cam is just trying to live a normal life, has a big crush on big werewolf man, Mateo. And one day he hits his head as a school fight breaks out, and he passes out. He has this crazy vision of this girl like dying in front of him, and he's like, holy crap, what was that a vision? And then he keeps having the vision. He's realized he's not like a completely normal human. He actually is paranormal as well, because he has like foresight, the gift of foresight. He's an augur or whatever. And then him and his quirky group of friends have to go find out basically they want to stop the girl from being murdered, and it's a big reveal on who the girl is and who the potential culprits are, and the whole thing unfolds. So the book is like, it plods along at a very normal rate. Like it's exactly what you expect from like a paranormal kids mystery book. And then the end is like, what is going on? Oh my god, it just goes off the rails in a way that I loved. Some people in the reviews that I've seen don't love it. I think it's great. It's wonderful. If you like, I don't know, I guess just things that are very unexpected endings, but that are still very fun, I think you'd like this one too. It is more juvenile, I guess, in the sense that they're just teenagers, than all of the other F.T. Lukens books, but I still recommend it. This one is so shiny, it doesn't even show up on camera. I'm gonna draw my new book now. Let me bring it over. I have a lot of books in here. I really have no preference on what I read. I just want to read something good. That's it. I'm gonna spin this around. I don't know if you can see, there's only one, there's only one blue in here. Only one blue left. So that's interesting. There's no color coordination. I wanted to have color coordination It just didn't work out. Anyway. Okay, gonna show my eyes. Ah! Yeah, I have like 3. This one wins. What are you? Oh, I'm not sure if this will be good. We'll see. This is one of my books. I was gifted this book and I don't know anything about it. Let me grab it. This book is called Beyond the Black Door by A.M. Strickland. I got this as a Christmas gift, so I added it in at last minute. It does match. The little mini books match. Yeah, the cover looks good. Let me read what it's about. Some mysteries shouldn't be unlocked. Let's see. Kamai was warned to never open the black door, but she didn't listen. Everyone has a soul. So some are beautiful gardens, others are frightening dungeons. Soul walkers, like Kamai and her mother, can journey into other people's souls while they sleep. But no matter where Kamai visits, she sees the black door. It follows her into every soul, and her mother has told her to never open it. But then she, of course, is going to open the door. Let's see how it goes. I'm excited.